Welcome to my channel. In recent years, Elon Musk has captivated the world with his relentless drive to revolutionize technology and reshape entire industries, from electric vehicles to space exploration. Musk's ambitions often go beyond personal or business success. He envisions a future where technology empowers humanity, enabling everything from clean energy and artificial intelligence, AI, to Mars colonization. Musk shared an experience that diverged significantly from his usual innovation-centric narrative. This time, he recounted an unsettling encounter with one of the most powerful figures on the global stage, Chinese President Xi Jinping. Unlike a typical business venture or technology launch, Musk's meeting with Xi left him with a troubling realization. He glimpsed a perspective that could alter not only his understanding of international relations, but also his vision for humanity's technological future. Musk's encounter with Xi revealed a stark contrast between his ideals and Xi's values, especially around technology, freedom, and control. This wasn't merely a diplomatic meeting or a business negotiation, it was a revelation that rattled Musk deeply, bringing to light ideological and philosophical divides that go beyond borders. The confrontation, face-to-face with Xi Jinping. Imagine Musk, known for his disruptive thinking and boundless ambitions, sitting across from Xi Jinping, a leader whose influence permeates not only China's future but also much of the world. Musk's reputation as a direct, sometimes provocative figure would make this encounter especially intriguing, given Xi's structured, strategic approach. With this meeting, Musk was aware of the stakes involved, not only for Tesla and his other ventures but also for the broader tech landscape, which is increasingly influenced by global politics and tensions between major powers. Musk's relationship with China has been significant for years, especially since the opening of Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory. This factory marked a historic collaboration, showcasing China's openness to foreign technology companies and providing Musk direct connections to the Chinese government. As one of the few Western tech leaders with such access, Musk had a unique perspective, one that granted him rare insights into the Chinese political system. Meeting Xi Jinping in person was an opportunity Musk might have seen as a chance to bridge ideological gaps or perhaps align some common technological goals. From the start, the differences between Musk and Xi became palpable. Musk, whose energy is often unrestrained, embodies the philosophy of pushing boundaries, championing freedom, and embracing a future where humans are empowered by technology. In contrast, Xi represents a system that emphasizes control, stability, and a well-defined role for technology within a state-centric framework. Musk likely sensed this contrast immediately in Xi's demeanor, his words, and even the unspoken boundaries in their conversation. During their meeting, Musk delved into topics he's most passionate about: technology, artificial intelligence, and freedom. For Musk, this was more than a formal exchange. It was an opportunity to engage with the leader of a nation that has rapidly advanced in technology, often on par with or even ahead of Western countries in some areas. Musk, ever curious, likely aimed to understand Xi's stance on these subjects and how they fit into his vision for China. Throughout the discussion, Musk noticed what he later described as unsettling traits in Xi's perspective on technology. Musk believes in technology's role as a liberating force, something that should expand human potential and autonomy. However, as the conversation evolved, Musk began to realize that Xi viewed technology in a more controlled, regulated way. For Xi, technology appeared to serve as a means to reinforce stability, safeguard national interests, and ensure societal harmony, all of which, Musk felt, prioritized the collective over the individual. A clashing vision of AI and surveillance. One of Musk's core interests is artificial intelligence, which he sees as both a profound tool for human advancement and a potential threat if misused. Musk has long advocated for ethical guidelines in AI development to prevent misuse, fearing that uncontrolled AI could lead to catastrophic outcomes. He raised these concerns with Xi, curious to learn the Chinese leader's stance on AI and its implications for society. China's approach to AI, which includes extensive surveillance and data collection, is among the most robust and invasive globally, and Musk likely knew this would be a point of contention. Xi's response did little to assuage Musk's concerns. Instead, it highlighted a stark philosophical divide. While Musk envisions AI as a means of empowerment and creativity, Xi seemed to view it as a tool for control and order. The conversation revealed Xi's acceptance, if not outright enthusiasm, for using AI to maintain social stability through surveillance. Musk found this perspective troubling. Where he sees AI as a way to extend human potential, Xi appeared to see it as an instrument for monitoring and predicting behavior, a mechanism for keeping society within prescribed boundaries. The concept of surveillance was another critical point where Musk and Xi clashed. Musk is a vocal advocate for privacy, often warning of the dangers posed by excessive monitoring and the potential for societies to slide into an Orwellian reality. Yet, as Xi discussed China's comprehensive surveillance network, including facial recognition and internet censorship, it was clear that he viewed these measures as necessary. For Xi, these tools weren't temporary or precautionary but essential components of social order. Musk was disturbed to hear this rationalization, as it pointed to a future where privacy and personal freedom could be permanently compromised. This conversation wasn't merely hypothetical for Musk. He realized it was a reflection of a world that could become dominated by surveillance under the guise of stability. Musk, who often speaks about the potential of technology to transcend human limitations, was confronted with a vision that twisted that potential into a method of control. He struggled with the thought of a world where governments worldwide might adopt such practices, turning technology into a mechanism for subjugation rather than liberation. Freedom versus state-centric vision. As Musk probed further, he brought up a subject that lies at the heart of his work: freedom. Musk's companies, from Tesla to SpaceX, are rooted in the idea of personal and societal freedom, whether it's freedom from fossil fuels, from traditional financial systems, or even from Earth's constraints. Musk likely wanted to understand Xi's view of freedom, especially in a country where the concept is often tied closely to the state's interests. For Musk, innovation and freedom are inseparable. He believes that for technology to truly advance, individuals must have the freedom to experiment, fail, and try again. Xi's approach, however, seemed to Musk to place state stability and societal order above individual liberty. Xi's vision of freedom appeared to be conditional, a freedom that existed only within the parameters set by the government. This was deeply unsettling to Musk, who has built his career around the principle of unbounded exploration and innovation. Musk left the conversation with Xi feeling a heightened sense of urgency. He realized that their different views on freedom were more than just ideological disagreements; they were indicative of opposing visions for the future of technology and humanity. Musk's ideal of a future where technology liberates individuals and breaks down barriers stood in stark contrast to Xi's controlled, state-centered model. This wasn't merely a disagreement, it was a fundamental divide that defined their respective roles in the world's technological landscape. The impact on Musk's vision for the future. As Musk reflected on his meeting with Xi, he felt a renewed drive to advocate for his vision of technology as a force for empowerment rather than control. The encounter with Xi was a wake-up call, a reminder that the future Musk envisions, one where technology advances human freedom and exploration, is not a given. In Xi, Musk saw the embodiment of a path where technology could become a tool for containment rather than expansion, where innovation serves the state rather than the individual. This experience with Xi prompted Musk to double down on his commitment to creating technologies that align with his ideals. He realized that the race for technological dominance between nations isn't solely about innovation, but also about the values guiding that progress. For Musk, the encounter underscored the importance of promoting an open, collaborative approach to technology that respects individual autonomy and privacy. In the aftermath of this meeting, Musk began to see his work as more than just advancing technology for its own sake. He felt a responsibility to use his influence to steer humanity toward a future where technology remains a tool for good, a means to uplift rather than control. The vision of a heavily monitored, state-controlled society, as embodied by Xi's approach, was precisely what Musk sought to avoid. He became even more determined to use his platform to advocate for privacy, freedom, and ethical AI. Musk was deeply concerned about authoritarianism. This wasn't just about politics, it was about the future of technology, freedom, and humanity itself. He knew he couldn't stand idly by while a vision of the future that felt dark and restrictive continued to gain momentum. For him, the answer was clear. He needed to intensify his efforts to promote a vision of technology that championed freedom and empowered individuals rather than controlling them. This meeting served as a call to action, reinforcing his commitment to keeping technology open, transparent, and accessible. Musk began thinking of ways to rally other tech leaders, building alliances to counter the rise of authoritarian models like the one he'd just encountered. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but if there was ever a challenge worth taking on, this was it. Musk, one of the most influential figures in tech, found himself up against a force that could potentially outmaneuver even the most innovative minds. But rather than feeling defeated, he felt more driven than ever. He understood he'd have to fight with more than ideas, he'd need tangible actions. He started planning new projects to protect privacy, promote transparency in AI, and keep space accessible to all. Leaving that meeting, Musk couldn't shake the weight of what he'd just experienced. It was like he'd glimpsed a future he'd only imagined in his darkest thoughts, a world where technology, rather than driving progress, was wielded as a weapon of control. The conversation replayed in his mind, with each of his concerns about freedom and privacy brushed aside. He realized that as much as he admired China's technological ambition, he couldn't support the philosophy behind it. The danger, he knew, wasn't just about China or this particular approach, it was about the influence this model could exert globally. In an interconnected world, that kind of influence rarely stays confined within borders. He worried that other countries might see this model as a path to stability and control, threatening freedoms everywhere. As Musk left the meeting, he understood that this was a wake-up call. It wasn't just about advancing his businesses, but championing a cause that felt more urgent than ever. He began rallying people around the idea of technology for freedom, reaching out to tech leaders, scientists, and policymakers. He realized this wasn't just about one company or even one country, it was a battle for the soul of technology itself. Musk also knew the public needed to be involved. Most people didn't fully grasp or perhaps care about data privacy and surveillance, but he knew that without public awareness, meaningful change wouldn't happen. He thought about educational campaigns to make privacy and freedom mainstream issues, something people actually cared about. One idea that resonated with him was open-source technology as a counter to centralized control, a way to keep tech accessible and transparent. Musk envisioned a future where open-source technology became the standard, accessible to anyone without fear of surveillance. Open source represented the kind of freedom that the authoritarian model lacked, a freedom rooted in trust and transparency. Musk realized he needed to hold his companies to the same standards he advocated globally. He wanted Tesla, SpaceX, and his other ventures to be models of ethical technology use, showing that it was possible to innovate without sacrificing privacy or freedom. He implemented new policies, pushing his teams to prioritize transparency and ethical considerations. Musk knew this wouldn't be easy. The world was shifting toward more surveillance and control, but he was ready for the challenge. He believed the stakes were worth it, having glimpsed a future dominated by control, a vision he could never accept. In the following months, he spoke out frequently, sharing his concerns and urging others to consider the long-term consequences of technology choices. Alongside advocating for AI safety, Musk looked to space as a symbol of hope. For him, space was still a great unknown, untarnished by the ambitions of control. He poured even more energy into SpaceX, seeing it as a way to inspire humanity, reminding people of their potential beyond borders and divisions. The legacy Musk wanted to build was about more than rockets or electric cars. It was about a world where technology served people, not the other way around. He didn't want to live in a future where a few powerful figures decided the freedoms of billions. Reflecting on his meeting, he saw it as a turning point, a moment of clarity that reinforced his mission. He knew the road ahead would be challenging, but for the future he envisioned, Musk was willing to face whatever came his way.